These are the iconic Nike Air Force Ones. Since their release in 1982, the price of this shoe has only changed 5 cents. Yet, 38 years on, they are more popular than ever. In fact, they're the #1 seller in the history of athletic footwear. Imagine if the price of this shoe was never set. Imagine if its value could fluctuate like oil or gold. What if there was a stock market for things? Before we start, let's take a look at 2 very different things. In 1792, 24 stockbrokers met in New York City at the corner of Wall Street and Broadway. There, they signed the Buttonwood Agreement, creating the New York Stock Exchange. These brokers had created the organization that would define the world's economic future. The stock market would allow for industry growth, providing funds to help raise revolutionary companies. We are all involved with the stock market in some kind of way, whether it be investing or even simply buying from a company with a public offering. Now let's fast forward 200 years. In the 1980s, the birth of sneakerhead culture made shoes status symbols. The rise of sneaker culture is usually attributed to the release of the Air Jordan 1s, which created a demand for the shoe unlike anything before. This is the story of how the collision of shoes in the stock market changed retail and the lives of young entrepreneurs forever. This is StockX, a startup based out of Detroit. Founded in 2015, this is the marketplace for selling sneakers, streetwear, and luxury goods online. The brainchild of former IBM employee Josh Luber and Quicken Loans CEO Dan Gilbert, this billion-dollar company has reimagined retail. During his time at IBM, Josh Luber created Campless, an online database that tracked resale prices of shoes. However, Luber had a vision of something greater. With Dan Gilbert, Campless morphed into a marketplace for sneaker resale. Yet it was unlike anything that the sneakerhead world had ever seen before. This is because StockX was a stock market for shoes. By using the functions of Campless, StockX allowed buyers and sellers to gauge the market value of shoes. It was an immediate hit, and since then, StockX has become an industry leader in resale. Here's how it works. Meet Joe. He's a streetwear fanatic who's hoping to buy a new hat. Joe doesn't want just any hat. He wants the 2017 Supreme New Era beanie. Using StockX, Joe can check the market value of this hat. Immediately, we can see that its value has been increasing over time, indicating a good investment. If the price is a little high, Joe can put in a bid to see if a seller will give in for less. But if he's ready to pay, he can go ahead and purchase it at the lowest asked. His beanie gets packaged up and sent into a StockX warehouse. When it arrives, trained authenticators will ensure that Joe isn't getting a fake. Then it gets shipped to him. What if Joe decides that he wants to be a seller too? That's easy. Let's say he has a brand new pair of Yeezys. Joe can go back onto StockX and register as a seller. Then he can list his shoes and place an asking price for them. If he isn't sure what to put, Joe can check the StockX database. Looks like the shoe is selling for $253. Now that Joe has posted his shoes, all he has to do is wait for a buyer. When he gets a sale, Joe ships the shoes to StockX. After they're authenticated and sent to the buyer, Joe gets paid. The whole process is simple and transparent, which is why people love StockX. In fact, just this summer, StockX became Detroit's first unicorn company. In other words, they reached a valuation of $1 billion. That's a big deal. Their business model has solved problems that traditionally plagued retailers and resellers, while reimagining the future of shopping. With the traditional selling model, prices are fixed. This causes us to pay more for goods than we would like. StockX allows consumers to take part in price setting. The stock market format of StockX is a fresh approach to shopping for goods. Under StockX, the data they provide ensures that buyers will never overpay, and sellers will never undersell. Before StockX, resale was a hard market to get into. On a site like eBay, listings were easily lost. It was hard to get people to buy because scams were everywhere. With its signature authentication centers and a website that's easy on the eyes, StockX has made it easier than ever to become a reseller. Reselling data used to be something available only to the top, most established sellers. With StockX, reselling has been democratized with the data available to everyone. StockX has provided an economic opportunity for young entrepreneurs. Good resellers can make tens of thousands of dollars. It's an easy side hustle that's been helping college students pay for their tuition or build business skills. Take it from Victor Gortiz, who started the company Six-Figure Sneakerhead.
So before I got into sneaker reselling, I was reselling other things. That was it wasn't really that consistent. I saw the business opportunity and the consistency of the sneaker market, and I saw how long it was around, and then I built a business from there. I mean, I was doing 5 figures in revenue every month pretty consistently. The pricing data of StockX has been useful to just decide on, and even nowadays sellers will say StockX price. StockX price has become pretty much a benchmark. Whatever it's going for on StockX, it is throughout the whole market. Before, when I was selling and there wasn't StockX and there was just eBay and GOAT was just kind of coming up, the price would vary a lot. It was hard sometimes for buyers and sellers to agree on prices. With StockX, even if people aren't selling on StockX, we're using StockX's pricing data to use as the market price.
And amongst all the economic gains that StockX provides, it's also a cultural force. There are signs of it everywhere, even if you don't immediately see them. We took a short walk through the hallways of our high school, and these are just some of the shoes that students bought off of StockX. The rise of streetwear in the last decade reshaped fashion. Brands like Off-White and Supreme brought all sorts of people into the fashion fold. These brands are notoriously known for their exclusive drops, which sell out before you can even blink. StockX has been a way for the streetwear community to come together and take part in the process of developing products. The data the website provides allows companies like Nike to understand better than ever what consumers want and what they don't like. As a result, companies have even started releasing exclusive items through StockX. It provides a way for companies to build hype and get real-time response from customers. In the last few years, StockX has broken all sorts of barriers, and they're not going to stop there. Instead, the vision for the company is to expand from luxury goods to, everything. That's why they've been coined the stock market of things. The ultimate goal is to make retail pricing something of the past. When we think of barriers in history, we imagine moments like Rosa Parks saying no, or Martin Luther King Jr. marching through the streets. We close our eyes and imagine the first man on the moon, or the Little Rock Nine pushing through angry picketers on their way to school. But not every barrier needs to be a mountain. Sometimes important barriers can be the small ones that nobody even noticed. The way we shop now doesn't need to be the status quo. It doesn't need to be the way we shop and sell forever. StockX is breaking barriers that have opened the doors to the future of business. To us, the story of StockX is about history that's been made and history that's being made right before our eyes. It's already made a splash. Only time will tell how far the ripples will go.